Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi, and anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. All right, so Sam Ehlinger film study. Listen, he was an exciting player to watch in college. Some people had some concerns going into the NFL. Is he going to be an exciting player in the NFL? He didn't go very high in the draft, and unfortunately, he's banged up right now, so he won't even be the day one starter, although it looks like it's going to be Wentz anyway, so all a moot point. But I still figured it's worth a film study. He is someone who I think he has a chance of being a good backup and potentially, even more, maybe some Taysom Hill type stuff. So let's get into the film study and talk about what I like about Ehlinger. So we'll start off with this play. What's going to happen here is it's going to be man coverage, and there's a receiver running a route over the middle. So this is the play that can absolutely work. Now, what you have to do for Ehlinger is you do have to wait a second before you can actually make this throw, given the fact that there's players over the middle of the field. So it'd be a dangerous throw to make immediately, obviously, but you wait a little bit for it to get open. This is a play that can work. Also, keeping in mind, this is a 3rd down and 5 right here, so, you might take a chance that you otherwise wouldn't if you are Ehlinger, given the fact that, if you don't convert it, well, you're not getting the ball anyways. So, obviously, interceptions are bad, but not as bad on 3rd down as they are on 1st down. And right when this play starts, you see what Ehlinger sees. So there is a player for Indianapolis who's appearing as though he's going to kind of get open. Just the issue with this is that on a spot like this in college, it's essentially always open. This is always a throw you should make. In the NFL, not so much. If you are going to, you really have to throw a bullet and you have to get it there low, I would say. But in plays like this, it's not that difficult for a defensive back to jump the route. And really, you want to make sure, honestly, you force your teammate to make a tough catch on a play like this. Instead, Ehlinger throws it like he would in college, and that allows 27 there for Carolina to jump in front of it and make the play. It's a great defensive play for sure, but defensive players make good defensive plays in the NFL, especially compared to college. So that's just part of the learning curve Ehlinger will have to deal with heading into the NFL. And, if he does get some real playing time, it's something that he'll have to learn in a hurry, honestly, because he's not going to get the patience that a 1st-round pick would get. Now, you have something like this where what's going to happen on this play is it's, again, man coverage. And one of the nice things about Ehlinger, and the reason why I like him so much is, people have kind of been wondering who's going to be the next Taysom Hill type, and I feel like Ehlinger could potentially be that. Again, Carson Wentz is a good athlete, so I'm not sure if you need Ehlinger to run those plays, but you can have Ehlinger run those plays if you want to, and especially if you want to just take the wear and tear off of Wentz's body, as he is someone who is injury prone. But look, so once this play starts, you're going to notice that 55 goes around the edge, and containment's completely given up at this point, which is nice. I mean, Colts offensive line did their job, but this is just an added element to Ehlinger's game. Even if you forget the Taysom Hill stuff, even if he's a starting quarterback, this is an added element to his game where he can be in a good spot right here. It's man coverage, so 5 defensive backs have their backs turned towards Ehlinger, and he can easily run up if he wants to. So the fact that he has that running ability in his, tool belt at all times can be a big deal. And look, he is going to be able to pick up the 1st down on this play. This is a good run by Ehlinger. Yes, I mean, there's other running quarterbacks who can make this play as well, but he is one of them. It's something he has the ability to do. And I thought on stuff like this, he's looked sharp. So it's going to be a play action, and you have a receiver running over the middle. And these are the kind of things the Colts like to do. This is what Frank Reich likes to do, of get guys out of position with play action to get receivers open, and then your quarterback has to hit the open guy. And I feel like Ehlinger can run an offense very well in this kind of stuff. Look, so he takes a snap, he fakes a handoff, he looks up. You see that there's 2 Carolina players who was going to kind of have to throw in between to get to the player who is just barely off screen right here. So a lot of guys, especially young guys, would kind of not time this perfectly, but Ehlinger, he times stuff well. He can run an offense well. I mean, look, he is going to, throw that perfectly, and they pick up a 1st down right there. That's good stuff. It's stuff you expect an NFL quarterback to make, but when you're dealing with 6th-round picks, they don't always do stuff that you expect NFL quarterbacks to make. Ehlinger can do that kind of stuff. He can do the baseline stuff, which is why at the very least he should be a good backup, which is also why I had him as my quarterback 7. He was the first quarterback outside of the 6 I thought have a real shot at being a great starter. He was the next guy who I'm like, I would take a flyer on him. Now, something like this is where things can get a little bit tricky, I would say. I worry about how Sam Ehlinger can get to his next reads. It's not something he had to do a ton in college, and I could see it turning into some errors. So, like on this play, it is zone coverage. You have an out route past the first down marker right there. So, that's something that, on paper, again, this should work. Just like his interception, that was something that on paper should work, but sometimes you have to look up, say, this isn't working, get to your next read. I mean, look, so Ehlinger is going to take the snap. There is a little bit of a play action, so he just now gets his head over there, and at this point, you see the defensive players making a great jump on this ball. And I'm not exactly sure what happens here. Look, this is a throw that I would say is probably a great throw because you want to, again, make your receiver make a tough catch or it falls incomplete. That one just a bit outside, so it didn't work, but it looks horribly overthrown. I don't believe it actually was. It's possible it actually was. It's also possible he just threw it away because he saw what happened. But I'm using this play as a bigger point to say that, he makes these decisions that sometimes could come back to bite him by making that throw at all when he probably should not have made that throw because he wasn't really under pressure. He kind of was, but he could have navigated the pocket. But then you have some stuff like this, which is some legitimate good plays. And that's what I like about Ehlinger as a quarterback is, yes, there are some flaws you can talk about, but for the most part, he's going to give you good baseline quarterback play, and he will give you some of the good. He will give you some legit good plays. This play is a man coverage play. You have a receiver running over the middle, and watch what's going to happen. So Ehlinger takes the snap right here, and he is going to get ready to make this throw. You see there is an opening. It's not wide open, though. You're going to have to time this one very well. You're going to have to hit your spot. But, I mean, look, as you see, just a thing of beauty. I mean, that's a perfect throw right there. You can't ask for anything better. Down the field, perfect amount of touch on it and everything. That's just a great throw, and he can make some legit great throws, and he can play very consistent. So there's stuff to like about Ehlinger. If you are a fan of Ehlinger, you're probably still a fan of Ehlinger. If you're not a fan of Ehlinger, this probably hasn't changed your opinion either. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Sam Ehlinger. There's some good, there is some bad. He looks like a rookie quarterback, which, it's just so tough with these late round picks. Even someone like Gardner Minshew, who showed a lot of promise. I mean, you think about Minshew and Daniel Jones. Minshew has shown more promise, in my opinion, than Daniel Jones has, but Daniel Jones was the first rounder, Minshew the sixth rounder, so Daniel Jones gets that third year. Minshew didn't even get a second year, really. I mean, he got benched for Mike Glennon because they wanted, Trevor Lawrence, which I get, but still, that's kind of the life of being a late round pick. So for Ehlinger, hopefully he gets an opportunity and makes the most of it, but at the same time, hopefully not, because that probably would mean there's an injury. So it's interesting, though. Those are my thoughts on Sam Ehlinger. What do you guys think about Ehlinger? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.